between EU and two commissions will be important.
The third summit is approaching, and we need to begin to prepare for it seriously. So we expect that from today's meeting, we will be able to lay the necessary steps for effective preparation for the next summit.
Our objective is to identify through the participation of different policy areas responsible what could be, let's say, the toolbox in policy terms that Africa and Europe can put in motion in order precisely to address this in a joint way. We put a fourth pillar to our dialogue, which is precisely one of civil society in Europe and in Africa. And linked to the role that the European Parliament and the Pan-African Parliament are playing, I think that we have, let's say, a democratic cluster.
We're also thinking of a global meeting between CSOs from Africa and Europe in the next coming weeks, and perhaps another one before the summit takes place, which will emphasize the participation of civil societies.
I think one of the, from my point of view, the major tangible actions coming from the partnership is the European Union delegation to the African Union and the way we work there with the African Union in a completely different way than we did before. For instance, on issues of peace and security, it's more political, but it's so important that we now consult before taking decisions on the European side. If we talk about Sudan, we talk about Somalia, Madagascar, before the European Union takes position, we listen and we consult with the African Union. In the end, we might diverge, but at least there's this consultation process. And we support, in most of these cases now, actions taken by the African Union. We support them politically, we support them with capacity, we support them with financing. So this is something completely new in our relationship. And we do it more and more also in other fields. We talk about climate change, we talk about energy, we talk about infrastructure. So there's a very intense policy dialogue going on. But I agree with you, we also need concrete, tangible results in the field. In the sector of peace and security, we support capacity building. African Union, but also the regions, we have almost 1 billion euros available to help them creating their own structures to prevent and keep peace and stability on the continent. On infrastructure, we have an EU-Africa Infrastructure Trust Fund. It is a little bit slow, but we are moving ahead in identifying what are the priorities and start, for instance, on the corridors between the regions, the missing gaps, to work on these. So a lot is going on, and we're certainly progressing. An underlying priority for us in Addis and the work we do there is helping Africa to speak with one voice. We do this politically, as I said, we listen to them, and by listening to them, it's making them in the center of our decision-making process. They do it in peace and security. They did it in Copenhagen on climate change. They might do it in the future in other fields. They might do it in trade-related issues, Doha, WTO, in Geneva. We are the only partners of the African Union that are stressing so much this point, because we believe in integration. We believe that strategically in 10 or 20 years' time, Africa will only survive if they can speak up for their interests. And for that they need integration, they need an African Union. And since we have the same process on our side, we are the only ones who can help them in that sense.
Nous avons fait un grand pas en avant, nous avons élaboré la stratégie conjointe, le premier plan d'action, mais notre problème c'est dans la mise en œuvre. Dans la mise en œuvre, parce qu'il y a beaucoup de problèmes qui subsistent encore, qui ne sont pas encore résolus. Et le véritable problème, c'est le financement du plan d'action de la stratégie conjointe. Comment trouver un financement approprié qui permet de mettre en œuvre tous les projets contenus dans le plan d'action. Voilà, c'est ça notre difficulté. Nous avons attiré l'attention de nos partenaires là-dessus. Nous avons eu un atelier à Addis Abeba, mais les conclusions sont restées mitigées. On a comme l'impression que chacun reste campé sur sa position. Et moi, je pense que pour que ce dialogue, qui est quand même un dialogue modèle, qui a des éléments positifs importants, pour que l'espoir apporté en ce dialogue puisse vraiment fleurir, il faut que les activités, les projets soient mis en œuvre exact concrètement.